Hey guys, hey, look this way. Look this way.
I
Talk
want to
this
walk this way.
way. We'll just look and talk at least. All right, so we got a crazy thing going on here. We had Daniel at the last minute joined in. We had a fun thing planned, but he spoiled it all by showing up. And
Punctuality.
how's that for a welcome for a guest? And then Royce is in a hotel and keeps playing with the light and his Alfred Hitchcock shadows. Nice. We will have a section a little bit later on yes, hand puppets, and he will show you. Some may be questionable and not safe for work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I guess expressionary dance as well. All right, I'm Darren with Arbitrage Trade. This is After the Bell. It is Wednesday. It's not like last week when it was my birthday, so nothing as special as it was last week. It won't be for the rest of the year. And my guests are Daniel Hopwood, who finally made it. We say finally made it. He wasn't late. We just started this earlier so that Royce has an important meeting later about money, of course. So we got to get him out of here so he can go.
No one told me.
Go do that.
How
could we?
Told you were asleep.
How could we? We have he's the institutional wealth manager, but it was fun to have his marketing position before he got here and his picture. We have Josh, the bank, who's doing very well in stocks right now as far as JPM. I don't know about Josh himself, but the stock is.
Right.
And then we have Royce, which is our fearless leader, who is campside. He's got a campfire going to his left. We almost did have a fire, by the way. He turned the lamp on and it kind of flashed. So I may have spoke that into existence. I don't know. And I'm Darren, of course, the Ape and Dumb Money. I'm the one that saw AMC go up 30 cents and down 30 cents today. It's just crazy what they do and what they play with it. But the more volatility, the better.
1%?
The more volatility. Oh, no. No, it's like 7%. So anyway, we're not going to make this an AMC thing or an Ape thing. Or else I'll get my poo out. All right.
Sure.
So we are none of us, especially the Ape, are not financial advisors. This is not financial advice, and this information is provided solely for educational purposes and entertainment purposes. And please always consult an actual investment professional for making any financial decisions. So let's get moving. We're going to try to make this a quicker one now that we started, because a lot of this is just a kind of spillover, if you will, from last week. It's basically what's been talked about since Trump was the president-elect, and so the markets have had to do their thing. And then we threw in a couple of financials that came out like CPI, which basically moved the needle none. And
those words.
What, move the needle? Did I say move the needle? I hate that too. Trust me, they say it way too much. The financial markets. So, Daniel, since you're here. I do. Let me take a look. What are the markets at? I had it up earlier. They were all basically flat.
I know. Hold on. I mean,
okay. The
Darren,
Dow was up.
You know where Darren. You know, no one cares about the Dow. You know where we have to start.
Yeah, I know where we're going. That's why I'm trying
Bitcoin.
to delay that. Yeah, we're going to delay that. That's coming. Hold on, that's coming. The Dow Jones is
and you want to talk about
1%. S&P is up basically flat, 0.02%. And the NASDAQ is at 0.23. Those we're still right around all-time highs still, and we keep making that every single week.
It got to 600 for a second. I saw it.
It did. 6,008 is what it was the high today. And then, the reason I didn't have it pulled up is because I did have what you're talking about, Daniel, pulled up and ready to go for the high and the low. We'll go. Do you want to jump over to that now? I mean, we're going to talk about down here anywhere else. No, I guess. We are.
We are.
No, it's next. It's next. It's on the. You've got it down under Trump and crypto trade. So we're going to wait for that. Just make you wait.
Okay.
I mean, Okay, we're going to make you wait again. Okay. So anyway, so we're flat today, but over the last week, the stocks have done their usual pump for the last. How long has it been, Daniel? I mean, what's the up and to the right? How long has it been?
Not long enough.
Not long. Okay,
right?
Of course.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, you missed my bad news, Daniel. I'll recap later.
All right. If you
it looks like since about the second week of September, we've been going up, more or less.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. So oil and gold are doing a retracement. You said.
Yep.
So, while Bitcoin explodes. Just hinting it there. Treasury yields. What did they do today? Anybody know what the Treasury yields did today? I know yesterday they
But look
they
at that
fell,
dollar,
right?
though. Look at that dollar.
But anytime the markets go up in general, the yields go down. I mean, that's pretty much the way it works.
Looks like they fell, but they're still, creeping up after the rate cuts started.
I think they're going to have to continue to go up, but we'll see. Maybe we should do that as a as a weekly wager. Is the yields? I mean, because I know we're about to have some craziness. I think in that.
I think we're going to hit VIX if you're going to do that.
We're going to hit the dreaded 5 here. I think in the next 2 or 3 months. All right. So your question, Daniel, to all of us was, when will we correct? And I know we've talked about that a little bit, and you actually finally admitted that this is just, even for you, this is a little crazy where we are sitting at. And when does it break, Royce? I know we talked about this.
Well, there's already chinks in the armor because we're looking at gold and we're looking at silver. What happened to all those countries that were basically requesting gold and silver contracts and requesting that the gold be delivered, right? So they're literally liquidating their gold and silver, and looks like they're going to Bitcoin. So basically, but we're also seeing basically that hedge, because they were hedging with gold and silver. The U.S. dollar, the dollar index, has also jumped by about 2.5 points since the election as well. So basically, once the risk was off, everyone's like, okay, go back to what we think is going to be a reserve currency. Maybe it's Bitcoin, maybe it's the dollar, but hey, everybody's happy. Even the market was happy. It's really, really rare to see everybody go up all at once. So I think there's a little bit of chicken going on with the entire market and see who's going to basically flinch first or move first, right? So like I saw giant crosses on Bitcoin saying, yeah, that should be the top according to my system. But hey, if it can maintain its course and speed, it can go on indefinitely.
So what is the dollar? Is it still 106-ish?
Yeah, it's at 106.50.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, from 102 to 106.50. How about that?
Just because of projections and stuff, right? I mean, because there's things working against it right now.
So all these countries that basically were betting or hedging with gold or hedging wherever, they're losing value, and the U.S. dollar is getting stronger and stronger every single day.
Wow. I mean, that's something that can't keep going up and to the right? I mean, it's going to hit a wall at some point.
We're now the greatest nation in all the world. Just gonna pump that out there.
I think until our underbelly is exposed, I think you're right. Go ahead, JP.
I mean, as long as we get just a little
tide hasn't gone out yet.
Just that, a little bit of healthy breathers along the way, like it can continue to go up and to the right.
Yeah. There's not been one healthy breather yet.
Well, we had one back in August.
No, that wasn't a breather. That was just a little. That was fake.
Not since 08.
Thank you. Yes.
There's rumor that Trump called Putin and said, "Come on, knock it off, and you don't make this serious." Called up China, saying, Z, like, hey, we're good. Let's not mess up taxes in our relationship. We're friends. Everybody's getting along. Everyone's making money.
I think they took the prospect of a world war off the table now because people are scared now again of what we will do.
Because they're like, he'll push the button.
Orange man will push the red button.
I mean, and he will actually be the commander in chief. He'll actually act like one, unlike maybe past. So
he's also the guy that's like kind of, I don't want to say friend, for better or worse, or terrifying or worse, or however you want to look at it. He's also the guy that's quote unquote like friends with guys like the leader of like North Korea and Russia and China, and not China per se because he's trying to trade war against them, but like North Korea and Russia, he's kind of their he's besties, or as he describes it, with those two guys. I mean, can
you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I hear you. Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, he's going like better work, he can ease some tension.
Wait, I don't see Josh in here.
Oh,
yeah. He is on this end.
I don't see him. So
okay, just get ready to hear that awful sound again.
So I can't hear him.
We're gonna hear that awful sound soon.
Are we doing that again? Oh boy!
We're gonna have to edit again. All right. While he figures out his stuff, this next. Oh, it's funny because we're coming up to what he wants to talk about. But
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go out and go back.
okay.
Yeah.
Poof. All right. So the next thing you want to talk
All
about,
right,
because we do
wait,
have
put the
we have to keep this
headshot
going.
up. Put the headshot
Oh
up.
man, you know what? I can. Hold on. I can. Bam. There it is. All right. It's up there.
Right,
Yay. Daniel Hopwood, marketing strategist, and terrible access to Wi-Fi.
Can I piggyback off of this thing? Like, Daniel introduced the markets and how I think what word did he use specifically? He said bonkers. Like,
Yes.
am I the only one that kind of feels like at this point we're in that that South Park, Wookiee meme where it's like that does not make sense as far as the market is concerned, because it is literally pure insanity. I mean, you can go down the list of all of the market indices and all of the things that generally indicate what a healthy market is, and we have flipped all of them on their heads. I mean, you've got like things like market cap to GDP, which is, Buffett's favorite indicator, is at like 209%, which has, as far as I know, has never happened. And also a really big indicator of why Buffett is hoarding cash. You've got things like price to sales ratios on S&P 500 is just under what it was when we hit it was like right at 1999, I think was the last time we were at these levels. Like we're at, like income is below what it was 5 years ago. Credit card debt is soaring. Like defaults are up. Commercial real estate is about to crash. Like savings are about to hit negative. Like we're starting to see layoffs mounting. Like everybody is quitting their jobs and new hires are not coming in. Like we're starting to see all of those like high paying white collar jobs that everybody loved. And when I was growing up, that's what everybody told you should do, was get into these high collar, these high paying white collar jobs. And those are starting to, they've been stagnant for years. And like, I feel like we're getting to the point of insanity. And you just kind of,
I thought we already were. But
you kind of got to wonder, but it's just like the more I dive into it, the more I wonder what in the bleep am I missing?
Yep.
You're missing the new normal, to quote COVID.
Oh God,
oh
not
boy.
that.
He said the new normal. Now he said new normal.
You are missing the new normal.
Oh my God, I need a drink. Okay.
Like I said, statistics and probability will continue on forever if they can accelerate. It's like a plane taking off from a runway. If it can maintain its course and speed and continue accelerating, it will expand indefinitely, and then basically that becomes a cruising speed.
I mean, but
I have a term.
Markets have elasticity, and I get that. But at some point, elasticity has its breaking point.
We're up liquidity. I want to say we're up over 450% since the 2008 crash from the recovery. It's still going. Still going.
Exactly. And I mean, dude, of all people, who's like Yogi the Perma Bear, like I'm surprised that you're the one that's the proponent of this like continuation.
Because one thing I had to learn in this 11 plus years or almost 12 now of following this is we follow the market. We don't try to predict it. When it turns, that bear hat's going right back on. But until then, hey, who doesn't want to be right?
He's don't fight the Fed or the Bears.
Yeah, I just want to see
the Bulls.
Between President Powell and President Trump. That's
the
fight of the century. Let's go.
Here's what I think's happened. I think that we've seen the black swan with a telescope, and then now we're seeing it with a binoculars, and eventually it's going to slap us in the face. And it's going to be a matter of when, not if. And who knows when? I mean, hey, he's back. I hear you in voice though.
That black swan, if we do black swan, that means the dollar may even quadruple its value, its strength, because every single correction that has ever happened in the history of the U.S. stock market has made the dollar stronger. When it crashes, the dollar comes out swinging, pimping, doing whatever it wants to do.
Pimping. Big pimpin'.
Hey, I'm just saying. It's like who always winds up shining? The dollar. So
Keep
you look at the
shining.
Black Swan event. Hey, our nation just got stronger. That's all that means.
Yeah, I think it's all fake. We'll see. We'll see what happens. See, JPM, I have replaced him as the perma bear, obviously, on this panel. So
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely the skeptic, but
But
I mean,
all I'll say is that I look at the Fed reports. Obviously, the media does not, but I look at the Fed reports and I see what's on the horizon, and somehow, some way, they keep pushing it away further. That's all going to come to roost unless we just say, forget about it. Because all those numbers are in terrible, terrible shape right now. And I can pull up chart after chart that shows you that these are all historic where we are in the bad way, back to depression era in the 20s. And so something is not, this has been the biggest, and you saw what happened with reports and surveys, etc. How were those exit polls, by the way, on the elections? Absolutely terrible as far as what was reality and what actually happened. And the pre-polls coming up into the election were terrible. The employment numbers have been terrible. There's a bunch of wrong numbers being pushed by this propaganda media. Yes, I said it. Come at me. And now things are going to come to roost. It's going to happen. I don't know how long they're going to keep pushing it down the road, but it's going to happen. And all in the name to try to get them reelected. Crazy.
You might be old enough to remember, Darren, the Industrial Revolution.
Getting red. I'm listening. Industrial Revolution, go.
I thought I saw Darren in an episode of the Peaky Blinders.
I'll take the paycheck, yes.
So I'm just like, okay, we had Industrial Revolution, then we had the .com bubble, then we have the cloud, now we have AI. Basically, technology keeps marching us forward, and basically what wasn't, I'm going to say it again, normal is becoming normal, and basically, hey, I want to see the next generation after the millennials, after the zennials, after the alphas, how they enter the workforce using AI to do their jobs. Does that mean they're going to be more efficient? Does that mean we're going to produce more? Quite possibly. Does that mean we're going to get things to market faster? Oh, definitely. I want to see what happens to academia with the onset of AI being integrated with that. Because what's plagiarism at this point? It's like, no, it's not plagiarized. The AI just wrote it all itself.
You don't have to know it. You don't have to know it. You have to know where to get it. That's exactly
kind
of what we're going to. It's
question.
Like, just carry around your pocket AI, and then you don't have to know anything. You can just be a dumbass, and just all I got to do is just boom.
It basically, you have to you become the 007. You become the 007 of technology, because it's like, hey, if you know how to ask the right questions, they only need one of you. You're a specialist. You're a John Wick. You are Indiana Jones. Basically, all you're doing is slinging data.
And then you throw it into a Neuralink, and you don't even have to pull it up on your phone. It'll automatically come up as soon as you think it. So then we're all robots, and the world's over.
I'm going to show you something later.
Yeah, I probably already have seen it down the path as far as things I've read. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's. We just went everywhere with that. Let's go ahead and move on, since he is back, Mr. Apple, Bitcoin head, et cetera. And we tried to hurry up and get it done before you came back, but we were unsuccessful. Go ahead and gloat. It hit 93.5.
Yep.
Which there's been people saying it's going to hit 100K for over many years now. Mm-hmm. So there it was. But now we had people saying it's going to hit 1 million. So just whatever is all I got to say to that.
Before 2141, it'll hit 1 million. But until then,
okay.
Wait, where is Royce in relation to me on the screen?
Royce is to your on the screen he's to your right.
Okay, so yeah, remember this guy over here telling us that 100K was like the magic number?
Mm-hmm.
Royce?
For when.
I'm gonna point the other way. I'm sorry, your camera on the screen here. He's the other way though. Actually, so you got to point the other way. There you go.
Okay, so
this guy
telling us that
you're pointing at Pips, by the way, but he means Royce.
Bitcoin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But times have changed. Like I said, as probability expands. Remember, I told you it wouldn't be able to hit 80K. You have to it had to go back down to 50 something first before it hit 80, and it did. So.
As unchecked corruption expands, Bitcoin will continue to go up. Yes, that's a surety. all the ETFs jumped in. Remember, we had that
Yep.
happen. So
Basically, they made
they're the
new
ones
vehicles
pumping it
to
right now.
carry it
Guarantee it.
to make it be able to
Yeah.
jump that high.
That's the
The
ETFs
the
pumping.
level of the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF, the amount of inflows it had, I think they said it took them 20 years to do with their gold ETF.
Right.
And they've already hit that level.
Yep.
Straight
it's
from
been
the
what?
Fed to the
One-for-one
Bitcoin.
swap.
All that money they pumped in to anything with all the congressional things we've passed that are supposed to go to this program or that program, I guarantee you a lot of it got diverted into the markets. We will see what happens in the future with that. So go ahead and do your gloat. You also, and we talk about this, we will talk about this in our deep dive too, Daniel, is that Gary Gensler is going to be gone. And who is it? The FTC? What's her name?
Con.
Yeah, King Khan. Yeah. That both of those are going to be gone, which are really people who are really pushing for regulation. I think Gensler was really a virtue signal guy. He was like, I'm really going to take care of this. Really, so I'm here to take care of this. But in the secret is that he really is for it, and I'm guaranteed he's got a lot of money involved himself. Anyway.
Did you guys hear about the most recent announcement with the Department of Education?
It's not going to be there anymore. It's going to be the states.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
did Trump appoint Lisa Huckabee?
No, because it'll be appointed to there won't be one. It'll be pushed down to the states to determine what they're going to teach their children.
Well, no. Well, yes, that's part of it. But I heard that basically that they're getting rid of the Department of Education, period.
Right.
That basically per child, they're allegedly spending about $18,528,000 per year to educate them.
Yes. Which is one of the highest numbers in the world, if not the highest.
Right. but the fallout from that is, and basically people are basically up. Like I've been looking at social medias while I've been up here. Has been saying that that means you no longer get the demographic where basically I have to move to a certain area to go to a certain school. If you can drive there, you can go there. So basically it stops you from having to be a certain dollar range to be able to attend the school. But then the other, on the opposite side of that, people are like, yeah, but if I'm too poor to get there, you're basically putting the responsibility on the parents to get them there. So that still is a no-win for us. So I don't know. It could be good, it could be bad, but I also found it very strange that the Department of Education did not exist until 1979.
Yeah, right. That's what happens with government programs. They bring them in with absolutely no intention of them going away. There is no exit plan. They bring them in as a crisis, let's just say a crisis solution, but they don't have any intention of pulling it back. Because I mean, I would love to see.
Except for the Doge department that's coming in.
We'll see. We'll talk about. I think we got that coming up. But the expansion of a lot of the employment that we had over the last let's just say 3.5 years has been in government, and every single report you see that it's been government, and now we're going to have an administration that wants less government. So it'll be really interesting to see what this shakeout is with that. But I mean, if he gets rid of those departments, think about how much is going to be reduced in jobs. So maybe that's your black swan.
You know what else is about?
I mean,
40-something years old? 401ks. Same thing. What if they got rid of 401ks? Just gave everybody back their money. Let them spend it like they want to.
I used to have it. 401k.
Me too. Until I lost my wallet.
Oh, that's right. All right, let's go ahead and move on to. We can still talk about the Trump effect here, but with tech. What say you, Daniel, about what Trump's effect on tech is going to be? Because does this mean that we're going to have even further expansion of the Mag 7? I mean, I'm so sick of hearing that. But go ahead. What's your take?
Well, so the as far as when we talked about the Trump trades versus the Harris trades, the Trump trade was actually potentially short tech, right? To some degree, because yes, we do have the benefit or potential benefit, I should say, depending on your view, of Lena Khan being removed, which would potentially put a lot of M&A back on the table. He wants to remove Gary Gensler, which kind of frees up markets, especially crypto, a little bit. But we do have to remember that in Trump's first term, he did have an antitrust suit against Google for acting as monopoly, which we have seen continue to be played out. I do think that there's going to be this kind of like dual thing where certain parts are going to go well in tech, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see the continued narrative of going after these companies as far as kind of like antitrust suits and being like too big.
Okay, so I have two words for you then, Daniel, based on what you're saying is less regulation. So in my opinion, less regulation means more corruption, because it's just not going to be checked anymore. It's just not. I mean, and I think there was virtue signaling regulation happening even during this administration, and it's just going to basically get worse because they're not even going to go after anymore. They're just going to let things happen as they happen. Wild West, here we are, until something breaks.
But you wanted Trump in office. How is this a bad thing? Wait a minute, I'm confused.
Honestly, I don't like either one of them. So I think we've discussed that before. I'm not a big. If you're a politician, I don't want to vote for you. So,
Aaron, I think you need to figure out how to become more a part of your conspiracies, because you'd make more money than running this podcast.
This is an intervention, Darren.
I can be choosy. I can select things. I can select things. I just don't like crime and corruption. I mean, is that a bad thing? Jeez.
No. I'm just saying that you're good at spotting and speculating it, so you might as well be a part of it.
I mean, yeah.
All right, well, right. That's probably why that's why I'm still poor, is because I'm not a part of it. All right, Daniel. You're going to want to go back to your old boys at Goldman Sachs, because they're the M&A guys. I mean, and they're the ones that once regulation and they're not going to be checked on much, they can get away with a lot more things and be buddies. Then you're going to want to go back to Goldman Sachs, where all the money's going to go, right? I mean, that's why JPM is going up right now, and that's why Goldman Sachs, I haven't checked them. It'd be interesting to see. Maybe that would be a good one to do one week, but especially as we get closer to Trump being in office. Maybe as soon as he signs the day one documents. I mean, it'd be like, okay, it's almost like that needs to be a group of stocks we need to look at, is day one document stocks, so that you make sure you're in them.
I mean,
before all those executive orders get signed.
We're part of the Trump trade that we talked about, right?
Yes,
loosening regulations on them.
Sure.
I don't know exactly what they'll do to them, but even it just being the environment that would enable more M&A, more IPOs, more transactions, right? I have a note in here about someone at Goldman Sachs said that they estimate a 20% rebound in M&A and kind of investment banking action this year, opposed to the 15% decline that they saw last year.
Exactly.
So however it manifests, I definitely that trade is probably on the table, and while I will never go back, maybe I'll buy the stock.
There you go.
Right?
I bet. No more 7-day work weeks for you. Well, let me ask you this though. I mean, I'm not going to go that route. I'm not going to talk about that. Maybe it'll come up a little bit later.
Now I'm so curious.
I know you are. And I'm sure I'll forget, but by the time this is over to the side, I'll forget.
That sounds spicy.
Yeah, no. Okay, just teasing. That's all it is. All right. So you said AI. We can touch on that real quick, Daniel. That AI is being used more than we think. I still say the bottom line is, what's it returning? And that return can actually be bad for the economy, because it's going to create less jobs because it'll be more efficient. And then anything that AI is tied to could cause job loss. And anything that AI is tied to, how does it actually bring back the bottom line on the P&L statement? Money. Right now, it's money that's being spent to get the latest, greatest chip. So it's money in. So will it actually return though? I mean, when that's going to happen? Like 2026, 2027? I mean, right now it's all about investment.
It's happening today.
So actually, when Royce was talking earlier about the other, kind of the next generations entering the workforce using AI and seeing what happens. That is actually kind of my kind of question and take on this. So, the basis of this story was that the company Chegg, which originally started as like a textbook kind of like platform for college students, is now down 99% since
Yep.
ChatGPT was released. Right. So they've lost more than half their subscriber base. They've like redesigned their website to be kind of like AI focused, right? They're kind of like the AI version of what they were before. And we've also recently seen Salesforce release. It was called Agent Force
Yep.
earlier this week, and they're gonna hire 1,000 people to sell it. And I still don't think the entire like AI narrative is remotely played out, right? I don't think anyone has. I do think you are starting to see kind of some of the real implications. And I think, we have seen companies like Affirm. I think they had let go like 65% of their customer support staff because they had replaced so much of it with AI. And I think as you especially see these the next generation that is kind of like, in college and younger, using AI as part of their ordinary workflow, that it's just going to become kind of standard. And, the comparison I gave is that when someone works in investment banking, your MD is someone who's like 50 years old. They don't actually know how to do anything in Excel. They just say, hey, make it do this. Like, this is the number I want. Figure out how to do that. Right. And so all it's going to become is like, we, including myself, like, I know how to use ChatGPT, but I definitely don't know how to use it like a 14-year-old or 16-year-old does. Right. And so when I become, that MD level, it's gonna be like, hey, this is the thing I want. Make it do that thing. And so I don't actually see, sure, maybe like companies will be a little bit leaner, but at the end of the day, if someone can just produce more assets, right? If someone's in sales and they can make more calls, produce more marketing assets, well, let's just hire 2 people and we'll still be double that, right? So I don't think it's gonna like be this whole reckoning thing that everyone thinks. Sure, it's going to take away like, yeah, like truck drivers aren't going to have jobs, right? In like 20 years, right? We'll have AI drive the trucks, right? Ports will be automated, things like that. And to be fair, it's like people don't really want those jobs. I think it just frees up jobs for like other industries, more creative things. At least that's my optimism about it. And, Darren, feel free to come in and poo-poo a little.
Well, I will throw my poop. Yeah, you are way too shiny about this thing. I mean, Elon Musk even warned about it. Mr. Doge has warned about when AI gets released, the damage it's going to do in many different ways. I think it was released too early. I think we're going to have much less jobs. I think the wealth gap is going to get really crazy. And this BS, in my opinion, narrative about Salesforce is going to hire 1,000 people. BS. And I'm just because I don't cuss, I would say it. They do that to pump their stock to show that they're going to hire all these people. I don't know. The hell if I know. No, it's BS on that. It's that narrative.
I've heard it.
It's that 1,000 people. They're just saying it just to try to pump their stock. But I would love to know in about 3 years how close they got to that 1,000 people that they hired, and how many they let go.
Well, put it on your calendar and we can talk about it.
What is the net? I really should, because I really need to start calling out all of these things that they pump and get the narrative going, and then it never happens because you never go back and check it. All right. Anyway,
that's got a thing on Polymarket, so you can bet on it and make money on it.
Yeah,
that's a good thing, man. Take notes. You can help me with that.
Yeah.
Just give me 10%. All right. So I know we're moving quick because I know you got an appointment there, Royce.
Yep.
So we have Trump versus Powell. Pretty much, we had a reporter ask Powell that what's he going to do if Trump fires him, so to speak. And he pretty much said, I can't be fired. So he's pretty much saying, I'm going to be here till 2026. So that gives us, I think it's 26. So that gives us 2 years of entertainment, I guess, back and forth to see what happens. Then if he gets rid of the Fed, then I guess that would be another way to
get rid of the Fed.
That would be another way.
Well, I don't think he's planning on getting rid of the Fed. He just wants
executive
more direct
order.
input.
Executive order day one.
I was like, that's like saying, okay, I'm going to get rid of my parents because they didn't give me a big enough allowance.
Well, the Mendez brothers did that. They went to jail.
Like, you can't get
That's
rid
all
of
Powell does. Powell gives allowances and allowances upon allowances. That's all.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, okay, if you want to play nice, you want to see your dollar do well, you're gonna do what we say, not vice versa.
All right, real quick, what are we gonna do through the rest of the year? Is it gonna be we're gonna have no cuts, one cut, or an actual raise? Who's gonna and let's move this into January even. Are we gonna have between now and this is the question for all three of you? What do you think? Between now and January, or the first one in 2025, as far as the cuts, is it going to be one cut, two cuts, zero cuts, or an actual raise because of inflation's getting out of hand that they'll admit to? All right, Daniel first.
I don't know what they're gonna do, but I would prefer no cut.
I think that's what they're going to end up doing because of inflation. Because all these congressional programs that have been put into place are now starting to go out there. All that money, and maybe that money is going to the market, by the way, but all of it's coming out of Congress from our future grandkids, and it's going into the economy right now. What about you, banker?
I think one cut, just as a kind of Powell kind of jumping ahead of Trump actually getting inaugurated, because I know that, Trump's going to want to have his say, and I could go on about that because we go back to like Nixon and things like that and how that got out of hand. But
we dive with Daniel. We talk about it.
Yeah, I think he's gonna kind of jump into, like, he's gonna just kind of go get ahead of the curve and gonna cut once, and then that's gonna kind of be the end of it, because Trump's gonna get in office and he's not gonna want any more cuts, and then unfortunately he's gonna introduce a little bit more inflation and things are getting out of hand, and I'll get on a tangent if we go on that one, but yeah. For brevity,
you don't think he wants cuts? Cuts are friendly to companies. Yeah. Why wouldn't he want cuts?
Cuts means our dollar is stronger. We can buy more. There's less taxes on it.
Like I said, for brevity, I'll get off that soapbox. But yeah,
okay, okay. Especially for like commercial real estate. I mean, you got to get those refinanced at lower rates.
No, commercial real estate. No, the Treasury's actually been raising its interest rate while the Fed's been cutting.
Yeah.
Yep. Mortgages, yeah.
Commercial real estate's toast anyways, but yeah. And it's not like these cuts have done anything. The mortgage rates have gone up since the cuts.
Exactly. Well, they're helping somebody. They're helping the wealthy somehow, I can guarantee. Royce, last comments.
All right. Yeah. So I think we're going to get a 0.5. Another 0.5 is coming.
Two of them. You mean a total 0.5?
Inauguration.
So 2.225? No, that would be. It'd have to be the next one then.
They did that 0.5.
0.5 is the next one. Wow.
That's the next one. And this is why I think that. I think they're prepping for just in case Trump goes in and he goes, you know what, China, everything you bring in, 100% tax.
Yep.
100% tax. We got to pay off this deficit. 100% tax.
Yep.
And so basically, just to keep the economy moving, he's basically trying to give us some relief, just basically to make sure that there's no backblow from the decisions that may be pushed forward for the GDPs for all these other countries, and basically how we treat their imports.
Yep. It's almost like you read the next section there, Royce.
I did not actually.
I know, but what you're talking about, that's what I know. That's what I'm saying though. But they are tied together, and you've got China is a big problem, and it's also been pushing everything as long as it can. It's been giving these stimuluses, which aren't really addressing the problem. It's just getting the government through to the next problem is all it's doing right now. It's trying to rescue it from the real estate, but that's so far down and beaten down and trodden that there's no way they're going to be able to rescue that. Okay, go ahead.
There is one thing that I was kind of reading about earlier today, and a point that had been brought up that I had not really thought about is that, there is one thing that for all of the things that, people complain about, there is one thing that he excels at, and that is him being a shrewd negotiator. So a lot of these things where he's talking about introducing like 100% tariffs on China or 100% tax on imported goods, like the tariffs in China, like all of these things realistically could ultimately be a bargaining chip that he could end up using a year or two down the road, never actually implementing never actually implementing these things. It could just be something that he's, a platform that he has run on that everybody has bought into so fervently that everybody thinks it's going to happen. And then all of these other countries, like, like European goods and Chinese goods and things like that, where they're like, okay, crap, he's crazy enough, he might actually do this. And then he uses
everything.
Yeah, and then he uses it as a bargaining chip later on to say, hey, well, okay, you give us this, and I won't do these tariffs, I won't do these taxes, I won't do this. And it's brilliant in a way, but it's terrifying when you think about him actually doing it.
Yeah, to me, it seems like a bait and switch. You threaten to raise the taxes that much. People raise the prices of their goods in preparation for the tax, and then you never raise the taxes.
Right.
And inflation goes crazy.
But
the crowd does not.
That's going to happen.
It's just like the war
but
thing.
It
it's just
crazy on their goods, not our goods, because we didn't raise the price of our dollar.
Well, our goods are going to go up still. We know the corporations are going to raise it no matter what. It's going to go up in our world too, for sure.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And Trump, we don't trust. Oh, wait. No, sorry.
All right. So anything, Mr. Applehead, anything to add to that before we...
No. All great points. I know Royce is running up on time. So.
Yes. Okay. Good. All right. So the wager we do. I was able to. Actually, I manipulated, and if you're looking at the screen, they can't see this, but I was able to manipulate with this guy right here. See how I move it around? I was able to manipulate with that little guy for the new scoreboard. Josh won. He is now 3. I am at 2.
Yes.
Daniel's at 1, and Royce is at 4. So we have a 4-3-2-1 is what we've got going on right now.
Excellent. Josh,
and then
we have to another dead heat at the end.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to this.
And we are at a dead heat, though, as far as the apes versus the quantitudes. So it is now 5-5. So congratulations, fellow ape. But I'd like to get one every now and then, if you don't mind there, Josh.
You got one. You got one.
We don't eat bones. Throw me a banana. But we went straight through me, because we were doing fine with me. Once again, I was looking kind of good earlier in the week. And then as it gets close to it, they kept pumping and it went all the way to Josh's channel. Therefore, he won. So congratulations there. What are we going to? We got 2 things. We have a chart, Royce, that you would like to talk about first, I think. And then we will do the final wager for next week and get you onto your appointment.
Sure thing. All right, so we got the charts up. Let's go. We are looking at Dogecoin, and we're looking at Dogecoin on our daily time frame. It is outside the band. See that red line? Yeah, we are way above that. But once again, expanding probability has allowed us to get up here, and basically even just hanging out up here should allow us to stay here to potentially drive us even higher. Doge is still relatively new, and by the way, this is the first time it's been actually above its compass line, which started about October the 14th when it was at about 12 cents. So yeah, people who've been holding from just at least then have no complaints, because it's literally almost 40 cents right now. So you guys have had phenomenal growth. So yeah, that's about, what is that, 6 times? No, 3 times what you basically had in there to begin with. Will it go any further? Who knows? But as long as it can maintain this growth per week, and right now it's growing at about, that's 27 to 38. So as long as it can maintain 11 cents per week each week, this guy can go on forever. So that is very encouraging. Seeing this guy here gives me hope for a whole lot more for the cryptocurrency market. That's all I have for crayons right now.
All right, that was Royce Wells with Crayons and Charts, explaining the coin, not the department, of Doge. And
Not the
but
department. Yeah.
both of them are connected, though, of course, because Elon Musk will be one of the administrators of the Doge department. The Department of Governmental Efficiency is what it stands for. So I think that actually is what really led to this whole. Not only was it because Trump was friends with Elon,
Hey, they can
now you
hire me. I will take it. I will for the team.
I think people might be saying that somehow with this efficiency, they're gonna use Doge. I think there's some misguided people out there, but we'll see what happens there. So we'll move on to
Remember our
Josh's.
Christmas party, Josh?
Yeah, dude. I mean, if you want to jump on the team, I'm all for it. Like,
I had three.
Like,
I had Doge at 3 cents at one time. I sure wish I still did.
I do, or I did.
Yeah, okay, we can get into that. If anybody can help anybody with lost files of Bitcoin and or crypto or anything like that, please give us a call. There might be a finder's fee.
Royce is sending out an SOS.
It's up to Royce.
To the world.
That's right. If you've ever broken a code to get into somebody's wallet, please give us a call, and we won't tell the feds. It might be somebody from the Fed. Actually, I'll shut up.
Yeah, and with that, we're out.
Yeah, man. All of a sudden, okay. So Josh, because he won, did already pick a fast food. So we'll go back to the Crayons and Charts and let.
Yeah, I was hungry when I picked
McDonald's.
this.
I guess so.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at?
Trump
Royce.
visited McDonald's. So let's see what McDonald's gonna do. We got a range on McDonald's right now from about 290 all the way up until about 306. So basically, we got about a $4 range for each person. Basically, pick your poison and figure out where you want to jump in.
All right, so Josh, you get to go first, and then you get the fun part of picking people favorites. So go ahead.
All right, I'll throw you a banana. Jeez.
Well, you're first.
You said
Unless
it
you
was
don't want to be.
You said 290 to 306, I think, is the channel, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
four
sir.
per. You get 4 per.
Give me the 302 to 298.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
All right. What is it sitting
Who's
at
next,
now?
Josh? What say you?
Well, I mean, he's already whined about it. Like, I got to pick Darren.
Go for it, Darren.
Strategy. Ape Wines. It's strategy. So what's it at right now? 297-ish?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
98? Okay. So I think we're going to have a macro event happen here. I always say this, and it never happens. But I'm going to go the channel below. So you two guys will get the extremes. So I will be at 294 to 298.
Okay.
Who's next, Josh?
I already know where Royce is going. Oh, yeah.
You better let him pick it first then.
I think I'm going to handicap this one a little bit. No. Royce goes last.
Oh, no. Let Daniel go. I'm stuck with the channel. Come on.
Let's see what Daniel's got on this one.
Do it while he's out of town.
I guess I'll take the lower.
Oh, okay.
He's like, that wasn't fun. He wanted
to
force him down, push him down.
Yeah, I know.
I know he wanted me to take the upper, so I was like, all right.
So
well, I mean, if things get volatile, then and it goes one way or another, then they're going to have a higher percentage chance of reaching it. So
come on,
we have to stay within an $8 range. Yeah, we have to stay within an $8 range.
Winner, chicken dinner. Let's go.
All right, guys.
I did that so strategically, and you still ended up with the top. Like, I already knew where this was going. Like,
and why didn't you pick the top?
The pump will continue.
I don't think it's going to creep up that high, but the probability is 1 or 2.
That means it will. All right, so let's tell everybody goodbye. Glad we all 4 made it here. We will do this again next week, and good luck, sir, with your appointment, because it means good luck for all of us. So
absolutely, for sure.
Take care. This has been After the Bell from Arbitrage Trade. Bye.
Bye-bye.